not investment advice, but what I'm doing, I'm going to be stacking even more sats for my family and for my legacy. And I'm going to start looking at ways to minimize my dependency on the central systems themselves. Looking at land here in Arizona. Yes, it's a desert, but you know what? Got to start looking at opportunities to wean myself off all this stuff that's going on. Because to me, it smells of desperation and something that is not sustainable. Just the way the whole structure is set up, it's not sustainable. It's a pyramid scheme. So you got to call a spade. You got to call a fraud. And I think, again, we can't be surprised about this. You look at other things that have occurred this year. Straight up, you have people saying, again, that the economy is good. This is the best economy that we've ever had in the whole history of the United States. Yet we have like 70% of the people that don't even have like $5,000 in their account. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when my parents were like, when I was a kid, and my parents, mind you, I love my parents, they did the best they could, whatever. But my parents even, you look around at people maybe even 25 years ago, or even like, say, your grandparents 60 years ago, and you look and you ask yourself if they had the same job classifications or the same responsibilities as some professionals today. And then you compare their purchasing power versus someone today, say someone who was a laborer, say 20, 30 years ago versus an engineer today. And you compare the purchasing power that the person has. Do you think that the person who's an engineer has a greater purchasing power versus, say, even maybe a laborer, say 30, 40 years ago? Maybe 30 years ago, but I would say maybe 40, 50 years ago. No, that it's completely different. Now it takes two professionals, essentially, to just have what maybe one laborer had many years ago. And so it just begs the question about who, the fake, really what it is, it's a fake out, it's a narrative fake out of what is real. And the fact that most of the stuff is actually bullshit. It's not real, but they'd want people to believe it's real. They want people to believe that they must invest in 401k because they need your ass to, so that the bubble can continue and bail out the boomers. And I think at this point it's like, well, what do you have to lose by shunning that system and investing in a new system? What do I mean by a new system? I'm not even talking about cryptocurrency. I'm talking about a new system in a sense that it could possibly be something like your own community, building your own house, growing your own food, just removing yourself from something that is not sustainable. And crypto could play a role in that, but I'm saying like it even goes beyond that. You know what I'm saying? You have other aspects of today's society. I mean, you just look at this year that this whole Epstein, stuff that came out, and the fact that you can't even get a straight answer. There's supposedly no videos on what happened, and people are just supposed to be okay with that and believe it, when it's like this is just really an insult to someone's IQ and someone's intelligence. And if you're okay with that, I think there's something wrong. And so my whole logic is where this is all going with the whole YouTube purge, the whole false narrative of the economy, this whole stuff with Epstein. It's basically a fake narrative all around. The impeachment stuff is all fake. So by, investing and doing the same thing, you're basically telling the system that you agree to the fakery of the whole thing. But maybe by doing the opposite, it's a way for you to vote. It's a kind of a way for you to voice your opinion by saying you don't agree with things, and you're going to remove yourself from it. You don't want to have any part of it. And I think that's where, as a society, a lot of us need to start looking, because this current system is not set up to put most people in a position where they're going to be successful. They're going to be able to raise a family and be sustainable. It's set up basically to keep people enslaved, keep them worried and living in fear and a mindset of scarcity, which is really unfortunate. And when you start to boil it down, even the quality of life and health issues that people have, I mean, even just, I work as a professional, like most of these people have significant, I mean, a lot of people I see in society, I would say, have significant health issues. And those health issues are a cost to everybody in society. It's a socialized cost. It's an additional tax that is really unnecessary. Yet you have people saying that this is a free market, this is the best economy ever. There's nothing free market about a repo operation that buys, gives money to banks at very low cost so they can keep their bubble assets inflated. There's nothing free market about that. If you're going to say you want free market applies both directions. Free markets allow assets to rise, and they allow assets to fall when needed. What we're seeing right now is not a free market. It's actually a Ponzi scheme, and it's fake printing of money. So all my crypto cats out there, and all the people who are watching this video, what I would encourage you to do is what I'm doing for next year is even looking beyond crypto. You know, we're going to continue to stack those sats, but I think it's time for us to like take it to the next level and start valuing local independence, you know, different economies, building your own house, getting that land, and just doing things the opposite, complete opposite of what we're being told. Because again, it's not, the narrative that's being given is not in your favor, and it's all BS. And I know a lot of people here like the whole regulatory space, and yes, we need regulations are good, and what the Fed wants and the state and the federal government wants, and that's true. But even those people have to admit that that's all fine and dandy, but today you don't have those same people playing in a fair way. They're not issuing fair rules for everybody to play by. So why would someone play by those rules? It makes no sense. So anyways, this is Phoenix signing off. I want to thank everybody for tuning into this video. And if you like the content, consider hitting that like button, consider subscribing. And until next time, peace and love, y'all. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.